Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. This time we're going deep into Temecula's political scene
Oh, yeah.
and taking a closer look at these things called vague leadership structures
Okay.
and how they play out, particularly in these local political action committees.
Peckies.
Yeah, PACs. Those groups can have a real impact on local elections,
Huge.
but the way they operate, it's kind of a mystery, right?
For sure.
So today we're diving into some analysis that breaks down these structures
Sounds good.
and how they're shaping Temecula's political scene.
Looking forward to it.
One of the things that really jumped out from what we've been reading is this whole idea that these groups just blur the lines
Yeah.
when it comes to leadership and membership.
Right.
And it seems like that makes it really hard
Yeah.
for us regular folks to figure out who's actually calling the shots.
It does, and that's a big problem because it allows certain individuals to exert influence without actually being held accountable.
Exactly. It's like they can push their agenda, but if anything goes wrong, they can just point fingers and say, hey, wasn't me.
That's the whole point.
And the analysis actually calls out Jeff Pack.
Oh, right.
This is a prime example of this.
He's a well-known figure around here.
Yeah, pretty prominent in one of Temecula's PACs.
Mm-hmm.
And when someone tried to pin him down on leadership roles,
What'd he say?
he kind of deflected, saying, I would rather you resolve this with Jenny and Kelly. They are the team leaders on schools. This is not my group or PAPAC. It's a collection of people.
Classic. That right there is textbook ambiguity.
Right. It's like he's distancing himself
Totally.
from any formal leadership title.
It's brilliant from a strategic standpoint.
Is it?
Well, I mean, it lets him stay involved.
Oh, for sure.
Influence the PASIC's actions,
Mm-hmm.
but without being directly tied to the outcomes.
So if things go south,
He's got that plausible deniability.
it almost feels unfair, doesn't it?
Well, it definitely raises questions about transparency and accountability.
Yeah, that's for sure. Now, the analysis also talks about something called ambiguous membership expectations, which is a little concerning.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole other layer of this.
Right, because it's not just about who's in charge.
It's about who's involved.
Exactly. So what does it actually mean to be a member of one of these Ps?
And that's where the manipulation comes in.
Okay, I'm listening.
They urge people to join, right, to get involved,
Hmm.
but they never really lay out what membership actually entails
So you're kind of signing up for something.
without knowing what you're signing up for.
Exactly.
And that leads to confusion,
Sure.
makes it difficult for members to voice concerns
Makes sense.
or even figure out what the group's real goals are.
There was one example that was kind of wild,
Oh, yeah.
where some people were told to reach out to these team leaders,
Right.
but then they were labeled as scammers.
What?
Yeah, or accused of spreading misinformation.
Wow.
It creates this weird atmosphere
Yep.
where no one wants to speak up because they're worried about being attacked,
Exactly. They're kept off balance.
constantly second-guessing themselves,
Right.
afraid to challenge anything.
It's classic silencing tactics.
It's really unsettling when you think about it.
Oh, absolutely.
So how do these groups manage to maintain this facade of transparency?
Oh, they're good at that.
They are. The analysis quotes the PACE as saying, anything we post will be from a reputable source, and any action will have gone through us and likely Jeff.
Ah, yes, the illusion of openness.
Right.
While still maintaining that iron grip on control.
They're saying they have a vetting process,
Right.
but they don't really explain what that means,
So conveniently, any dissent can just be dismissed.
as not meeting their mysterious standard.
Exactly. It's a brilliant way to shut down any real conversation.
It's all about appearances, isn't it?
To a large extent, yes, they want to look like they're open to feedback.
Democratic, even.
Precisely. But behind the scenes, they're controlling the narrative.
And this isn't just some theoretical game,
Right. It has real-world consequences.
especially here in Temecula.
Absolutely. Imagine this PAC throws their support behind a city council candidate.
Okay. Yeah.
Voters might be swayed by the PEC's endorsement,
Sure.
but they might not realize who's really pulling the strings.
So we're making decisions
Potentially huge decisions
about our community
based on information that's been carefully curated.
by a group shrouded in secrecy.
That's the danger here.
It's a little frightening when you put it like that.
And to make matters worse,
What's worse?
these groups often use vague objectives to attract a wider range of people.
Oh, right. Cast a wider net.
Exactly. So you might have folks joining who genuinely want to make a difference.
Sure, best intentions.
But they don't fully grasp what they're getting into.
Or what the group's true agenda is.
Right. The analysis even mentioned how the Temecula Pact just encourages people to join
Without any specifics.
no clear expectation.
So someone might be drawn in.
By a desire for change. Yeah. But then find themselves caught in this confusing web
Of shifting expectations and conflicting messages.
It's a bait and switch, plain and simple.
Taking advantage of people's good intentions.
Absolutely.
So we've got vague leadership, ambiguous membership, and a tightly controlled narrative.
It's a recipe for manipulation.
And it's happening right here in our local politics.
And that's why we need to be vigilant.
Exactly. We can't just take things at face value.
No.
We have to ask tough questions.
Demand transparency.
And look beyond the surface to understand the true agenda.
Exactly. Don't let yourself be manipulated.
That's a powerful message.
It's the truth.
And it's a reminder that we all have a role to play in shaping our community.
Absolutely. Stay informed, stay engaged, and don't be afraid to speak up.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Wow.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
Always a pleasure.
And remember, Temecula's future is in our hands.
Let's make it a good one.
We'll see you next time.
See you then.